afternoon. So nice to see you. And we are currently going to be debunking some podcasting myths with Girish Bali, who is a seasonal podcaster who's been podcasting for almost a year, if I'm not mistaken. More than a year, actually, right?
More than a year, more than a year, yeah.
Fuck, and you would not believe he has actually done more than 200 episodes, if I'm not
Uh,
mistaken.
yes, that's correct. Actually, over 200 as of July the 6th coming up. So, yes.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, Girish, I just want to make sure our audio is okay. So, is my audio okay, or do you hear any background noise, anything of that sort?
No background noise. We are pretty good. I think am I sounding okay on my end?
Yeah, yeah. Can you up the gain a bit?
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, better, better. That sounds
Awesome.
nice. That sounds nice, my friend. So, guys, thank you so much for being here. My name is Jason. I am also a podcaster, and Girish has helped me to get into the podcasting game. And he's a mentor, and he educates people who are just starting up with podcasting. So today I was like, Girish, let's actually have a discussion on some of the myths, and let's actually debunk some myths. And I came across this article which I shared with Girish. It's by smartpassiveincome.com. You should be able to see it on the notes somewhere. Yeah, so it kind of states there are a couple of myths. Okay, and we wanted to get into that. Now, before I do that, I want to quickly give Girish the opportunity to introduce himself. So, Girish, can you give us a brief about what you do professionally, and tell us about a bit about your podcast, what made you start this whole thing? Let's start from there.
Yeah, sure. My name is Girish Bali. I've been in the States for the longest time. I've been doing technology for the last 25, 30 years. Learning networking and cloud computing, and that's just how I am, and just keep on learning, right? And there are new things to be learned. But in the meantime, what really happened is I used to do radio jockey in my younger days, and the way my style was very different back in the '90s. So I did not really pursue my radio jockey world, but I have done it for at least a year or two in that radio field. And then I said to myself, let me start a podcast, and I started my podcast in January 2021, and I never really looked back after that because I actually did a demonstration, a demo back in December 2020 to see that if I was going to sink or I was going to float. And I think I'm still swimming and floating because people are appreciating of what I've done. So the name of the podcast is Back to Basics Mode. The reason why there is a Back to Basics and why there is a mode, there's a whole science to it actually. So back to basics is that we have a tendency to complicate things, and that's what we usually do, and that's what humans do, and there's nothing wrong with that. It is what it is. But the thing is that how do we make that simple and basic and fun and educated all at the same time? That is a skill I think we all should have, right? Asking the right questions to the right experts, whoever I bring into my show. So I cover all the way down from business, marketing, technology, all the way down to motivational speakers, to even cryptocurrency. Yes, cryptocurrency, and even Bitcoin, and including finance and real estate, and what's the difference between mixologist and a bartender? Like those type of fun ones, and then obviously fitness, health, and nutrition. So I release from January till June last year every Friday, and then I said to myself that I think me as a podcast listener, I'm confusing everyone here who's listening on my podcast, and I said, let me. I mean, the show name is Back to Basics, and how do I make that simple? So what I did in the month of July last year is I did a promotion saying that I'm going to release every day because we have to segment each and every topics differently, not just every Friday. So that's what I did, and it looks like the promotion is still going on because I've never stopped. So I release every day, and I've done season two right now. Season one, I've done over 137 episodes, and season two right now is 80. So Jason, I think you're right. I've already surplus 200. But I treat each season differently because for season one is 137, and right now I'm just so excited that July 6th will be 100 episode for season two. So I treat each season differently. But you, I think, have given me already the number above 200, so I feel obliged for that. But thank you again for that, and that's my story and my short story.
Absolutely. I love this very, very much. And I want to quickly give you a heads up. Obviously, we are testing this online broadcasting platform. I'm currently trying and testing how Restream works, and we want to see how it's going to help facilitate us podcasters not only to be on audio but also video as well. So so I have actually listed, if you notice here, we have back to basics mode.com. That's Girish's website. He not only offers podcasting, he also has a production house, and he also offers consultation. So all these three components: public speaking gigs, online courses, brand identity, branding, marketing, I mean, you name it, this guy got everything under his banner. His website will be going through a revamp very soon. We are working on that. You will see more things happening. Please reach out to Girish if you're interested in knowing more. Now, we want to cut down to the chase. I want to let you know, because we are streaming live, Girish was willing to give us the opportunity to say, yo, okay, you can actually call 513, say yo B2B1, and you should be able to speak to us directly on this live, and we will be able to answer some of your questions. Now, we are not the best in the world, but we are striving to offer you as much as possible. So let's get into the conversation. So let's
And
debunk
Jason,
some.
before you start, whoever is calling that number, please be mindful. This is a live show. This is going to be also on a podcast, so we want to be diligent to the listeners too. And if you want to stay with the topic, stay with the topic, and please be at least a minute when you're calling in because I do have to put restrictions. I mean, anyone can call, right? So thank you again, Jason, for that. Yeah.
No worries. Yeah, absolutely. Try not to cuss because a lot of people would be watching. We want to ensure that we keep a peaceful environment for both. So myth number one, and see the reason why we are going directly to myth, we are assuming that you already want to start a podcast, okay, for X reasons, okay, but there is a blockage, right? Would you agree with me, Girish? There is a blockage. The first myth, I think, common, which comes into people's mind, that you have to be good when it comes to communication and speaking. So let's actually debunk that. Girish, why don't you actually share your experience in terms of public speaking, and what do you think?
Well, I mean, the first thing comes in mind is obviously the topic, right? But honestly, the when you say topic, you mean the title of the podcast, right? That is very different.
Hmm.
Why don't you design the show first, right? Try to come up with an idea first. That's why if you listen to any of my shows, I usually ask my guests when they're writing a book, does the book come first, meaning the storyline come first, or does the title come first? And everyone's style is very different. For me, my main question is that who am I resolving, what am I resolving, and how am I going to resolve it, right? And those are the things that we think of. So basically, the first thing came in my mind for back to basics is that why do we make things complicated? And honestly speaking, this does not happen in December 2020. I've been thinking about this complication nonsense for the last 20 years. Because in the IT field, we tend to give solutions in a complicated way. And that's what companies do, which is totally fine because they have to stay in business. But from a consumer point of view, you're making that complicated. So the only thing came in my mind is let me just sit back and just think right back to the ground and go back to basics. And I actually said that while thinking about this. And then that title came on, right? The idea came on. So whoever's listening right now, I think the first thing needs to be is the thought process of what are you trying to resolve, who your audience is, and yeah, I mean that's it really.
Yeah, yeah. So actually, guys, so what Girish is trying to, we are not completely on the myth yet. Okay, so what he's trying to tell us is just an overview that if you want to get into the podcasting game, obviously you need to know why you want to do it in the first place, what's your inspiration, motivation is, who exactly is it for, stuff like that. You know, all those interesting stuff. These components has to be there. But another blockage, Girish, I want to quickly address again. I have highlighted it on the screen, guys, if you see. So, myth number one, do you need to be a natural born communicator or a speaker, Girish, according to you, to get into the podcasting game? Many people also have that tendency of saying that you need to have that hot sound, that radio type voice to make this done. So, what are your thoughts on that? Let's actually debunk
I
this myth.
if someone has a voice, someone has a voice. That's a totally different topic, totally different podcast altogether, right? That's what you call voiceovers, right? But we are talking about communicating to your audience. Everyone has a voice. Everyone has something to say about something. It'll be totally BS or totally intelligent. Someone has something to say, right? So think of it that way. So if you think that who the hell is going to listen to me? Actually, honestly speaking, guys and Jason, I actually thought that when I first started this. Who the hell is going to listen to me? Then my second mindset was at least one person is going to listen to me, right? And that one person could be my family member or my son or my daughter or anyone else, right? So that's your one person. Now, think of that one person as 10 people. So, which means that according to me, I got 30 people in front of me right there, right? So, if you go with the mindset as someone is going to listen, there are 2,000 podcasters out there. What the hell am I going to do? But the thing is that your style is different. The difference between them and you is you. And that's what I went by. So that is definitely a blockage for certain people. Born with the communication? No. I mean, you're going to learn as you go, right? No one's going to be a born communicator. You just have to practice and re-practice. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm with you 100%. Yes. In fact, I personally don't think the radio voice is necessary. I mean, it has its own perks to it, but I want you to understand your audience are actually not there for your voice. Your audience is actually there for the content which you're delivering. Would you agree with me, Girish?
I
They are
totally agree.
there. Yeah, they are there because you have a distinctive personality, okay, and you have a nice voice, or not a good voice, whatever. Okay, but you have a voice. That's what he said. You have a voice, an opinion about this specific topic or whatever the content which is trying to be scrutinized. Okay, and your voice matters. Okay, and if you go with the aim of just making difference in one person's life, okay, just one, okay, that is still an impact. You have made an impact, and I think that's the aim you should go ahead with. So I
Yeah, but
appreciate. Go
yeah,
ahead.
but Jason, just one more thing. When people they say speakers, it's not always that you are speaking. Okay, being a speaker, you also need to be a good listener. Okay, so if you are a good listener on a podcast, that is also a speaker, a good speaker. Just keep that in mind because you're always digesting everything, whatever you're hearing too. So yeah, go for it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I am with you. You need to speak and also listen at the same time. That's how it's gonna work out. And the thing is, guys, when I started, I was scared to the core, and I was not sure how to go about it. But what I realized on the second episode, I was slightly different. On the third episode, my confidence kept going up. Fourth, it went up. Fifth, I have so far done 42 episodes. So if you see some sort of transformation, or if you think that there is, I'm not saying that it's the best, but if you feel it's the, there is some finesse to it in terms of how I am speaking or how Girish is speaking. Girish is obviously a veteran. I'm still a newbie. Okay, if you see that transformation, when I started, I also was very very hesitant. So I feel as you keep doing it over, doing it repeatedly, your brain gets programmed to naturally speak, and you will become more and more confident. So with that, I'm going to head to the second myth. Now we want to demystify or debunk. You have to have a podcast. I'm sorry. You have to podcast in a large niche to succeed. What are your thoughts on it? Is it actually true, Girish? What do you think?
I don't think so. Uh,
Okay, let's debunk this. Let's actually get into this. Okay, what do you mean?
so, what are
What
your
does it
thoughts
mean?
on this? Let me ask you this question. Let's ask you this question. What are your thoughts on this as a newbie? What are your thoughts on this?
I feel that when you start a podcast, it's kind of challenging to conclude who would be your listener, because people have their certain preference, interest, the way they consume content, the way they, some people may like you, some people may not. Some people may admire you for the content you bring. Some people may admire you for the humor you bring. Okay,
Hmm.
so it's very hard, because we can't see the person face to face or interact with them, at least directly once you're starting up. I think it's very, very hard to, justify, okay, this is my audience. You may have an overview, okay, and it's good to have an overview that, I want to target X kind of people. And once you start broadcasting your show, I think eventually those kind of individuals, or you would see what kind of individuals are participating in it, who are
Hmm.
repeat listeners, and I think that's how you build it up. So I don't think you require a large niche. I think what you can do is just throw in your content, see who are the early adopters. Do you remember that bell curve which we always speak about, the bell curve? And the first, I think if I have the bell curve here somewhere. Oh yeah. So I think around 20 to 20, yeah, 20-25%, I think, of the population. Okay, and guys, don't quote me on the exact score. I don't remember the exact, but it's called as innovators and early adopters are the ones who get hooked on to the content, are the ones who would really promote you, support you, and these are the ones you want to target. Most people, what they do is they go with the big chunk, which is the majority of our population. Marketing, or communicating to a big proportion of your audience is very, very challenging. I want to give you the opportunity to speak as well, Girish,
So,
because your
so
experience.
here's another thought process after such a long time of me doing podcasting. I think I've learned as we go, right? So what people can do, and this is obviously free, right? You can go to, let's say, Instagram Reel, or even TikTok for that matter, or any real platform, right? Or even a short on YouTube for that matter, right? They will give you a little analytics. So let's talk about the analytics when it comes to the Instagram. Did you know that if you got a number of views, they give you a analytics as to what age group and what location it's coming from? So then you have an idea that who the hell is listening to you. Then you know who the hell is that audience that you're reaching out to. Then then you can start a podcast saying, these are my audience, and these are the demographic, and these are the age groups, these are all the thought processes when it comes to my topics, right? But just keep in mind that every reel changes, the analytic changes, so it's your job to write it down as to, this is the trend that I have no matter what topic I talk about, right? So lately I'm in an experiment mode today of understanding that, but I knew that even before when I started this podcast. But I think today I'm learning much more when it comes to reels and understanding the analytics on that part.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love that, and I think, okay, so be it any sort of business, be it podcasting, be it advertisement, marketing, whatever you're trying to do, okay, it's all about observing, looking at the stats, looking at the pattern, trends, and it's going to leave clues. The more you're observant, I think the more you would be able to see what's happening, and you would be able to figure out some sort of directions. I want to still encourage people to, yo, when I say yo, that means call us live on 513-900-2221. That's 2221 for US and Canada. So when you do call in, do not forget to say yo, and we would be we would be able to okay ensure that your audio is actually broadcasted on this live as well. I want to actually get into the third myth, unless and until Girish, you want to actually add anything to the second one further.
No, I think we're good on that. So let's go to the next one. Yep.
Yeah, and this is the last one. Actually, there are many more myths, but these are some of the common ones according to the article. You should be able to see it on the description somewhere. So the article states on myth number three, you have to have a following to get started. Okay, now it's kind of inconclusive to the myth two, but let's actually hear from Girish now. So Girish, you started from zero. I know you started from zero. You don't even have background in podcasting, right? You were not even
No.
in this space. So let's hear from you.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Instagram trend for me. Okay. And Jason knows my history, but whoever is listening on Back to Basics, they know the history too. Back to Basics started their Instagram, and then they ended up with maybe 200 and some change following. Okay, and then it all the way down went to zero. Why? Well, because Back to Basics never really learned about security. So we got hacked, and then we had to go down to the basics as to what do I need to do next, right? So I started a new handling for back to basics underscore, back to basics mode underscore instead of back to basics mode, right? So that's okay. That's not a big deal because I don't have a big following. But my thought process is, do we really need that following? Yes, it kind of does help in the long run, but my thought process is that people are going to follow you no matter what you do, right? Because if your content is going to be strong and you're going to be really out there. So then Jason, when I started the second handling, I had to start all over again, contact all my contacts and making sure they moved over. Do you think they actually move over? Maybe they did, maybe they did not. I really don't know. But today, um, I have over 300 subscribers right now, followers right now, but this is only Instagram. If you're talking all around, I have over 2,000 followings right now in all my social medias, including YouTube and including LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I'm very fortunate that people are following me. So if you do that calculation, I'm above 3,000 right now, if that's the case. So it does help when you do have a following, yes, but I don't think that was my drive. My drive is really my content. As I say, content is king, right? Just follow your work and follow your content. Money will come and people will come. Don't worry about those things. That's just me.
Awesome, awesome. I'm with you, Girish. Those are like solid points. I was trying to do a screen share, so some kind of new to this interface. Were you able to see your Instagram profile by any chance while I was
I
doing that?
No.
Oh, you did not. Interesting. Hmm. Okay, one sec, one sec. Let me try again, and you tell me if you can see your Instagram. Okay, one sec. Okay, do you see? Okay. I'm so sorry, guys. I screwed it up, Girish. I was
That's
doing
okay.
a screen.
That's okay. That's okay.
Okay,
Well, the,
okay,
the screen is white right now. I don't see anything else. Uh,
okay. Give me a sec. Let me just remove this. Okay, one more. Uno momento. Uno momento. So yeah, I'm still trying to get a hold of this.
So in the
Uh,
meantime, while Jason is doing this, why not everyone just call in, and then we'll chit chat. So it's gonna be 513 yo B2B1.
yeah,
That
yeah.
the
Do you
reason
see that
why
now?
the reason why yes, I am seeing that now. So the reason why it's yo B2B1 is because yo, I just want to look cool, and B2B1 means back to basics is number one. So that's just how I deal with it. So that's what the number is. Yeah, so you're just looking at my reel, and that's my Instagram feed right now. Maybe it's not much, maybe it is a lot. I really don't know, but I just do what I think it's right when it comes to content. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I wanted to actually pause there, and I wanted to just get back to the myth of you have to have a following to get started. Actually, guys, this is actually not true, because I want you to understand that people might be able to copy you, okay, screw your account, hack you, okay, but your talent, it can't be taken away from you. Even if you lose 10,000 followers, people know who you are, okay, and they know what is the style of your content, what you deliver, and what you bring to the table. And if somebody else is impersonating as you would easily make out, right? And if let's say we both are friends, if somebody is trying to impersonate me, the vocabulary would be different, the choice of words would be different. Girish, wouldn't you be able to easily make out even by just looking at a text, right? You would be able to
Yeah,
figure it out.
I mean someone just told me that this was a while ago. This was almost a year ago. Should I put my phone number on there or not? And I'm like, I guess I should, right? Because I need people to contact me. What they actually told me is, um, who really cares? People will contact you because I'm pretty much everywhere, right? You can connect with me anywhere you want. People will follow you no matter what. So it doesn't really matter if you have a phone number or not. So that's how I
Yeah,
look at it.
yeah,
It's,
absolutely. I'm
it's
with you
I mean, phone number is
100% on
just a
this.
very basic thing, but anything with other handlings, right? I mean, it's the same concept, right? Uh, people know that I'm on Clubhouse. People they know that I'm on Instagram. People know Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and even Yo B2B one. So there's no hiding. I mean, I'm here.
Absolutely, absolutely. So guys, I hope you enjoyed we debunking some of the myths which are out there and giving you perspective of what it is, what is the reality of the situation. So I hope that helps. I want to quickly go ahead and give opportunity. Okay, so Girish website I have linked here, backtobasicsmode.com. If you are planning to get into podcasting, if you are an existing podcaster, if you need additional support, reach out to Girish, and he should be able to help you not only with regards to consultation but also execution as well. I also want to give myself a little thanks. I am actually a brand identity designer specializing in corporate identity design, and I'm also a podcaster at this moment. Not seasonal, still a rookie, just beginning. 42 episodes under my banner. The name of my podcast is also Brand Identity Design, just as my profession, and we speak about nothing with regards to design. We speak about entrepreneurship. So that's what my podcast is about. This is my website, IamJDesigns.co. If you are interested, please have a look at my website, see how my style is, stuff like that. Reach out to us, reach out to me or Girish, whoever, and we should be able to help you out, at least give you some advice, okay, and give you some clarity and direction. So this is actually my first live. I actually have not done live yet on LinkedIn and YouTube. So it was a little scary. And I'm really, really thankful, Girish, you joined our conversation, sparing 30 minutes. He has a client call, actually, guys, but he was like, okay, Jay, I'll help you out. Okay. Okay, I'll help you out. Okay, don't worry. You don't have to do a monologue. And I was like, okay, bro, thank you so much. I don't have to do a monologue. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And although we didn't have any viewers yet, commenting or even calling us, I just want to say that if you have a vision, don't hesitate. You don't want to live your life with disappointments. I very early in my life, Girish, I said to myself, I don't want the word "what if" in my books. Okay, if you want to do something in your life, just try. Okay, even if about to fail, just try. Okay, be it starting a business, doing something, doing non-profit, whatever it is in your mind, just try. You never know where it's gonna lead to. Yes, I got a little pop-up. Girish, am I still on? Can you still see me?
Yes, 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 yes. There was a
Okay,
little
okay,
delay.
okay.
I see you. Yeah.
Yeah. So don't have any what ifs in your life, guys. Anything you want to explore, just try it. At least you'll get some sort of an experience, and I think that experience is going to dictate your journey. On that note, I want to personally thank Girish. I want to play a small ad, a promo, and we will wind up today's conversation. Thank you so much. I hope you guys stay around, because Girish is going to start up a course, which we are trying to curate very soon. So there is a possibility we might do a video on that shortly. So stay connected. Thank you so much, Girish. You have a blessed day. Please pass on my regards to your family.
Jason, thank you again for all the support that you've given me and Back to Basics, because Back to Basics is honestly not possible without you and your support and everyone else, whoever is listening. So thank you again for all that.
No worries, Girish. Thank you so much. Okay, you take care.
Take care. God bless. I'm not hearing it.